Hello everyone. Welcome to Confessions Jury, where people put themselves on the spot, waiting for your judgment. Sit comfortably and listen carefully, as you're about to hear today's cases. You hold the hammer and you apply the law. Let us have your verdict down in the comments section. As always, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Let's head on to our first case. Case 1. Am I the bad person for not wanting to go on a Christmas cruise with my sister and her kids? I, 37F, have 2 kids, 11F and 9M, with my husband, 37M. We celebrate Christmas every year with my sister, 40F, and brother, 42M, and their kids, as well as our parents, 67M and 67F. My sister's oldest is also 11. Her son Sherman is in the same K-6 elementary school my daughter Everly is in. They are both in 6th grade. Sherman and Everly used to be pretty close. They started drifting apart a few months ago when Everly started dating Dayton, 11M. I thought this was just Everly getting caught up in silly preteen love. That was until Sunday. We invited my sister and brother and their families over to help make baked goods for an upcoming holiday bake sale at the school. Dayton was with us. Once my sister arrived with her kids, Dayton ran into our basement and Everly followed him. I wanted to see what they were doing, so I went to go in there and saw they locked the door to the basement, which Everly knows she isn't allowed to do. So I started knocking on the door until Everly opened it and asked me to come inside and talk, so I went in the basement. She told me that Sherman and his best friend Alan, 11M, have a history of bullying Dayton. She gave me multiple examples. Dayton plays basketball and that's his biggest passion in life. Sherman and Alan have repeatedly called Dayton and his friends stupid jocks. This is despite the fact that at a recent trivia bowl at the school, Dayton and 2 of his basketball teammates beat Sherman, Alan and another boy and won the championship. I was there and didn't see any problems, but I was told the day after in school, Sherman and Alan said that they only won because of the C** and K on the team, referring to a Filipino-American boy in their class and a close friend of Dayton. Dayton reported this to the teacher of the class. Alan and Sherman are in and both lost recess for a week and got a phone call home. They also mock his religious beliefs. Our family is atheist, and so is Alan's family. Dayton's family is also atheist, but he started to go to church with the aforementioned Filipino boy. His family is quite active in the Salvation Army near us, and Dayton is a Christian and involved with them. Dayton has never tried to preach to anyone to my knowledge, but he does have a Bible bracelet thing he got off the TikTok shop and wears a cross necklace. I know his faith is important to him, and Alan and Sherman have mocked him for praying at lunch. I went up to my sister ANS, asked to talk to her in my bedroom. I mentioned everything that happened and she said that Dayton and Everly were exaggerating some light teasing and accused their teacher of pushing an agenda to go after Alan and Sherman. She said that she has things under control and not to worry. I went back downstairs and told Everly and Dayton to stay down. I told my sister that if she didn't make Sherman apologize, that they would have to leave. She tried to get Sherman to apologize, but he refused and doubled down. He was laughing and clearly had no remorse for his actions. I told my sister she needed to go home and talk to Sherman. Alan and his family were also supposed to come on the cruise. I was able to get Alan's mom's Facebook and messaged her there. She defended her son and called Dayton a crybaby. I tried contacting my sister again, and she started to yell at me for contacting Alan's mom and trying to embarrass the boys. I told her that if she didn't get her son in line, I would be fine missing the cruise and losing the money and taking my kids and Dayton somewhere nice, and texted Dayton's parents about what went down, who told me more stories about mean things the boys told Dayton's other friends. My mother started texting me after I got off with my sister asking me to pick up. She said that I can't just abandon my family over this and said that my sister and I need to come together and compromise. I told her that I wasn't going to compromise on standing against bigoted 11-year-old pricks. Am I the bad person? What do you guys think? Lay down your ruling in the comments section and let's move on to our next story. Case 2. Am I the bad person for how I handled my ex cheating? I, 29M, was engaged to my ex, 26F. She is in grad school working on a master's. We had a shared apartment, but in June, I got a great job about 2 hours away from her school in my hometown. I have since bought a house, and she was supposed to move in at the beginning of January. The lease in the apartment we used to share ends at the end of this month. In September, I started to notice her being distant with me. I thought nothing of it. There was a new guy in the program she started mentioning. I thought nothing of it. Well, a couple of weeks before Thanksgiving, I got pretty irrefutable proof she was cheating with this guy. I was more angry than I can put into words. Originally, she was planning on coming to see me the weekend before Thanksgiving before she went home for the week. I made up some excuses for why she couldn't come, so I did not see her. While she was gone for Thanksgiving, I took what stuff I had of hers at the house and took it to the apartment. I wrote a detailed letter about the cheating, how I felt, and letting her know I was breaking up with her. I also wrote her a check for my part of the rent for December, but told her she needs to make arrangements for the other things. I paid her car insurance, health insurance, and cell phone each month. I also went about changing passwords, locks, passcodes, etc., so she could not access anything of mine. She got back to the apartment on November 30th and saw the letter. She lost it. She called repeatedly. I did not answer. In the early morning hours of December 1st, she showed up to the house trying to get in. She couldn't. My friends started calling me. I told them I was fine, but that I would not see or speak to her under any circumstances. I told them to ask her to leave. Eventually she did. I still have not spoken to her and don't plan to ever. Some of my friends are saying I am an AH. Apparently her account is overdrawn because I usually put money in her account at the beginning of the month to cover her bills, but since I didn't, money came out and caused her to have a negative balance. She has absolutely nowhere to stay once the lease ends at the end of the month. And she just wants to talk to me for closure. I refuse. They ask if I could at least give her some money to get her account balance back up, but I refuse. Am I the bad person? What do you guys think of this one? Let us know in the comments section, and let's move on to our next story. Case 3. Am I the bad person for not putting my dog up when my sister brought her friend to my house? I do not feel like I'm wrong, but my mom and my sister say I am being invalidating and insensitive to her friend's fears, so I wanted to post here for objective opinions. I, 25F, live alone with just my dog Baha. He is a 4-year-old English Mastiff/Cane Corso mix, and he weighs 175 pounds. He is huge and literally the biggest baby ever. He has never even growled at anyone, and I've had him since he was a baby. Because my dog is so big, I turned my balcony in my condo into a yard for him. He has room to run and play out there and kinda do his own thing. I have a smart dog door that allows to come in and out as he pleases, but I can lock it if I need him to stay out there. I have a small window on the door so I can see him while he's out there. This is important for the story. My sister, 30F, who I will call Eva, asked if she could come over to hang out for a bit, and obviously I said yes. When she got here, she had a friend with her. She didn't give me a heads up and I was irritated, but I have met the friend before, so I brushed it off but told her we'd talk about this later. We will call the friend Sarah. When we got up to the main floor, Baha was laying on the couch and he perked up and started doing his little excited tippy taps when he saw Eva. Eva immediately greeted Baha and was giving him kisses all over his face, which he loves. Sarah started immediately hyperventilating when she saw Baha and said he was a killer. I said he wasn't, but offered to put him outside and lock his door while we visit. She asked me if I minded and I said no, he liked being out there. I put Baha outside, then we all sat on the couch and started chatting. Sarah would not stop staring at Baha. He was literally laying in the sun asleep and she kept watching him with this wide-eyed scared expression. Eva asked if she was okay. Sarah asked me if I minded putting Baha in his crate. I told her he didn't have one because if I leave the house for long periods he's with me. She then started ranting about how irresponsible that was, that he could hurt people from being left out, that he was violent and obviously dangerous, and that he would probably attack strangers on the street. I told her none of those things were true and he's my dog and this is how I choose to care for him. She said she had a phobia of big dogs and couldn't function with him around. I told her that maybe she should hang at my sister's place instead because she was so scared. Sarah was offended, but she didn't say anything, just gave me a dirty look, then Eva a look. Eva was trying to convince Sarah that he couldn't get in without my unlocking it, but she was convinced that Baja was waiting outside to kill her. I told them I was going to take him on a walk and they left shortly after. The next day when I was at my mom's, Eva jumped down my throat about invalidating Sarah. She said I could have locked Baja in my room or something because Sarah has a phobia of dogs. I told her that Baja lived there and if they didn't like it they didn't have to come back. My mom said it wouldn't have been a big deal to lock him away for a few hours and that I could have been more sensitive. I left shortly after because honestly they can complain all they want. I'm not locking my dog in a room when he was secured in his area. So am I the bad person? You've sat down, you've listened. Now, it's time to state your ruling. What is it gonna be? Let us have it down in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe for more cases like these. In life, we may run, but we can never hide from true justice. Stay safe, everyone.